Greetings, my name is Jamaal Brown, and I am happy, humbled, and excited to be here with you today. I won't be long, but I will be strong. I come to you from the Los Angeles area of Southern California. This is where I was born, but I was born in a smaller town, smaller part of the Los Angeles County area, far away from the Hollywood sign, far away from Disneyland, in the least economically stable area of California, Los Angeles County in particular. There's mobile home parks. And in fact, my first memories in life were growing up in a mobile home park. Despite my parents' socioeconomic status, despite their meager funds, they always valued education. And they thought that by putting my brother and myself into a private school was the best way to insulate us from life's ills. And so they always allocated their funds so that we went to a private school in the neighboring city on the other side of town in that neighboring city. There, as you could imagine, perhaps, the students there did not look like me, did not walk like me, did not talk like me. They were primarily, Caucasian kids. I didn't know what that meant in terms of being different until one day, I think it was the fourth grade, the teacher gave us an assignment. She said, go home, find out 5 things you want to do, come back and share with the class. So like a good student, I went home and diligently began working on my assignment. I looked inside my family. I looked inside the family of some of my friends. Of course, the news and TV was on, and I got right to my assignment. The following morning, I was the 3rd person in line as we had to come up to the front of the class, stand on the X, and share with the class our list. Again, being 3rd in line, I got to hear some of the other people's lists. There was a young boy who went first. His list, from what I can recall of it, he mentioned he wanted to be an astronaut, a firefighter, a policeman, some noble things. The young lady in front of me, the only thing I remember from her list is that she said she wanted to be a podiatrist. It took me about 20 years to figure out what a podiatrist was. Podiatrist, for those who don't know, it's a foot doctor. Certainly that young lady, her mother did her homework. Finally, it was my turn. Made sure I was looking good, stepped up, stood on the X, put my shoulders back, loudly and proudly proclaimed, my name is Jamaal Brown. I'm either going to be an athlete, a drug dealer, a gang member, or entertainer. That's right, my list: athlete, drug dealer, gang member, entertainer. The teacher walked me slowly to my desk, patted me on the head, and let me know that a parent-teacher conference would be taking place that night. I didn't know exactly what took place in that parent-teacher conference. I just know both my mother came out with tears and the teacher came out with tears. Throughout my life, I put varying levels of energy into each one of those things. I'll tell you about a few of my adventures. First, I thought about being a gang member. Certainly gang members were respected members of the community, so I thought. But it wasn't too long before I began thinking, when gang members aren't out there committing murder and mayhem, what exactly are gang members doing? There's no gang member stock options, no retirement plan, no 401k. So I didn't really know what gang members did. And, I certainly didn't think there was too much of a future in becoming a gang member. Plus my father had been shot. So I've had a pretty good secondhand view of what a bullet could do to flesh. So thankfully, it wasn't too long before I scratched becoming a gang member off of my list. Next up, I thought about becoming a drug dealer. That's right. I was so convinced I was going to be a drug dealer because there was a drug dealer on my street. The statute of limitations are up. This was a long time ago. So I'll tell you his name. His name was Dwight. Dwight lived on my street. He had the nice car, the booming sound system. He had the attention of the ladies. And most importantly, Dwight used to give me candy. And so I thought certainly becoming a drug dealer was not that bad of a gig. Again, I was so convinced that of my career aspirations that one day I actually decided to tell my mother of my plans for my future. I'll never forget. It was a Sunday morning. Mom was in the kitchen washing dishes before church, handful of Palmolive soap. We all know the green bottle, washing dishes. I sat down at the bar stool in front of her, said, Mom, I figured out what I want to do. Matching my energy, says, what, baby, tell me. I said, I'm going to sell drugs. And I sort of dipped back, right? I dipped back because I thought that hand was going to come out the water and slap me in the next week. It didn't happen. She just kept her head down, kept washing those dishes. She was washing dishes for about a minute, but that minute felt like a year. Then eventually she says, baby, I don't think that's going to work out too well for you. I said, why not? She says, well, after I beat you, After I beat you, I'm going to call the cops on you and you're going to go to jail. So grand opening, grand closing. My whole drug career lasted those 3 short minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. I didn't sell anything. From that point forward, I dedicated my life to the game of basketball. I played basketball night and day, day and night. Played so much basketball, I wasn't known as Jamaal Brown, but Jamaal the basketball player. Finally convinced my parents in the 9th grade to allow me to switch schools from a public school, to a private school to a public school for the first time. I certainly thought that becoming captain of the team would be my ticket to fame and fortune and notoriety. And so I made it my goal. I played hard, practiced well, and achieved that goal of becoming the captain of the team. One day I wasn't feeling too well. That same loving mother took me to the doctor after practice. They ran a whole host of tests, ears, nose, eyes, everything head to toe. And finally, the doctor said, Mr. Brown, you have apical hypertrophic myocardiopathy. Said, could you say that in English, please? Said, you have apical hypertrophic myocardiopathy. The tip of your heart, Mr. Brown, is about 2 times thicker than it should be. I sort of laughed it off, said, maybe that's why I'm so good. Says, no laughing matter, son. I said, well, we have a game against our rival next week and, we'll figure something out after that. He said, no, you actually have a heart surgery next week. So as a 14-year-old freshman, I went from a basketball court to an operating table. As you can imagine, that was a tough pill to swallow. It was surgery day. I don't remember much of it. I just remember waking up, room full of doctors, nurses, family members lined the room as I woke up. First words out of my mouth were, when can I play basketball again? Everyone was slow to speak. Finally, the lead surgeon spoke up and said, Mr. Brown, the surgery didn't quite go as expected. There's no additional surgeries. There's no medication, nothing we can do to fix the problem that you have. And I will never sign the waiver for you to play sports again. As you can imagine, that'd be a tough pill to swallow for anyone at any age, but certainly this young boy who at the time hadn't updated my list, athlete, drug dealer, gang member, entertainer, that's all still, I saw the people around me doing, that's all still what I thought Black people did. That's all I felt I could aspire to. I was dejected, I was depressed, but eventually I realized I wasn't dead. And I realized that if you can look up, then certainly you can get up. And each and every day that the sun rises, you can go further from where you were to closer to where you want to be. However, I didn't have the skills, I didn't have the information, I didn't have the knowledge of anything else. Thankfully, what that time with no longer playing sports allowed me to do was to discover that Black history is world history. I was able to discover things about Egypt and the Nile and the pyramid builders and Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, and all these wonderful people. And something magic began to happen inside of me, right? A fire was lit inside of me. I began asking myself, what will be my legacy and how will the world know me? Inspired by these people that I discovered on these pages in world history, Black history, I discovered, again, I had something magic inside of me. I had greatness inside of me. And I began to ask myself, what will be my legacy and how will the world know me? Inspired by all that, I went on to become my high school's first ever African-American valedictorian. I was accepted to 8 universities and received about $50,000 in scholarships. And again, I must attribute those feats to the love and support of my mother and father, but also the love and support of my ancestors, the information that I received from knowing that people who look like me have done great things. And so I want to share a few slides with you to highlight some of the individuals, highlight some of the instances and the ideas that inspired me in history. And so I have titled here these brief words, Black history is world history. What we call Black history truly is the missing pages of world history. There's my contact information, Jamaal at black365.us, black365.com, latinocalendar.com. You can find out more about me. We'll talk a little bit about that there in the future. As I mentioned, one of the first things that caught my eye, one of the first things that excited me about history was the civilization of ancient Egypt. So I was so excited. I went from reading about it to actually visiting. I was there in Egypt for 15 days, learning, discovering, seeing the greatness of our people and our lasting contributions to history. One of my favorite pictures, one of my favorite trips was to Mexico as well, right? I discovered that Black people, people who look like you and me, circumnavigated the globe, went around the globe far before there was a Christopher Columbus who thought he was going east, went west, and ran into this place and misnamed people and contributed all sort of negativity to the world. There were African people, Black people, who intentionally traveled around the world, leaving clues to their present, leaving clues to their success. We brought pyramid building to the Americas. We brought the number 0, all sort of great things, the domestication of animals to the Americas. And again, discovering and touching and feeling world history, Black history, again, truly has been an intangible and invaluable piece that I love to do. I was so inspired by what I discovered on this journey of self-discovery and discovery of Black history that for the past 13 years at this point, I've been producing a calendar that highlights an event in Black history every single day. My goal, my passion, my purpose for being on this planet, I've discovered, is to show and highlight the heroes and sheroes, Black women and men who have done great things. And we'll talk about that a little bit more shortly. And for my contributions, the Barack Obama White House provided me with this pretty rare award, volunteer service award in the field of education. Because again, I've uncovered my gift to highlight in a special way Black history. And again, I've been recognized by the White House, the California State Senate, and a few other notable organizations. I always have to remind people that our motherland, the birthplace of humanity, is Africa. The few facts about Africa. Africa is a continent, not a country, whereas United States is one country with 50 states. The African continent is one continent with 54 countries inside of it. Africa is a very, very, very large place. About 20% of the Earth's land mass is Africa. Africa is naturally the wealthiest place on the planet. That's right. Some people are taken aback when I provide them with this fact. Say, hold on, when I turn on Discovery Channel, when I turn on CNN, I see nothing but despair and poverty. Well, there are systems that are being put into place that rob Africa. However, naturally, most of the world's gold, diamond, cobalt, coltan, the things that we need for our computers to work, the things that we need for our cell phones to work, the things that we need to make our economies work are indeed produced in Africa. Once again here, most of the world's gold, diamonds, platinum, cobalt, zinc, all these things that make the world go round come from our homeland. Again, just some facts. Africa's a very, very large place. As I mentioned, you can fit not one, not two, but 3 United States inside of Africa and still have room. We come from a place of significance. When I was in Egypt, this is one of my favorite pictures that I took. You might say, what is going on here? This is a pyramid that's older than the pyramids that you might be familiar with. They call this the Bent Pyramid. And why I like this picture, it shows human trial and error. They didn't quite get it right. They didn't have their mathematics right. They didn't have their scheme right, perhaps their teamwork, their collaboration right. However, diligence, however, resilience, however, problem solving, however, I didn't get it right today, but tomorrow offers me a better opportunity is personified. These are the things I see when I look at this picture here. Here's another example of our ancestors not getting it quite right. They call this pyramid the Black Pyramid. It still stands to this day. It's older than the pyramids that you're perhaps familiar with. Again, here is a different mode, a different a technique that they attempted that didn't quite get it right. So what I learned by the fact that they didn't tear these down over the years, it was that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be adventurous. It's okay to search and try and give an effort. You might not get it right the first time, but that resilience, that stick-to-itness, that determination that you have inside of us, that we all have inside of us, will perhaps one day allow us to produce something great. Here are some photos of those pyramid builders. I see froze, I see bald heads, right? I see brown skin. These indeed were African people. Here are some of the tools of their trades: squares, levels, and plumb lines. These are tools that are still used by master architects to this day. Here's another photo of those pyramid builders. Again, their skin looks like mine, their skin looks like yours. What we call Black history truly is world history. We're going to go dive a little bit deeper. But as I mentioned, once teamwork is put into place, once collaboration is put into place, once we do things and fail and do things and fail, do things and fail and try again, you can create something that's timeless. This here is the largest pyramid there on the African continent, over 2.5 million blocks, average block being about 5 tons, 470 8 feet tall, the pyramid of Pharaoh Khufu. I have this photo in here just to let you know I was really there. I really took these photos, no Photoshop, no right click, save as. I was really, really there. But as I was saying, once hard work, determination, internal motivation takes place, you can create something that's timeless. These 3 pyramids stand here over 3,000 years old. People from all over the world flock to these pyramids and to try to discover who were these master masons, who were these master engineers, who were these master mathematicians. And again, Egypt is in Africa. It always has been and always will be. And the people who created these things were indeed Black people. And this is a beautiful personification, the zenith, the high point in history, showcasing that what we call Black history truly is world history. Forbes magazine a few years back wanted to discover who was the richest person ever in the history of the planet. Some postulated, some thought perhaps it was someone from the Rockefellers, someone from the Carnegies, someone from the Mellon family. But no, Forbes magazine put together their greatest statisticians, mathematicians, and they came to the conclusion. It's not my opinion. These are what the people at Forbes determined, that this Black man right here, by the name of Mansa Musa, was the richest person in world history. He came from Mali, West Africa. You may have heard of him. He became the Mansa, or the king, in the year 1312. And in 1324, he took a historic pilgrimage, or Hajj, to Mecca. And along his route from Timbuktu, which is in Mali, West Africa, to Mecca, he gave away so much gold, they say that he devalued the price of gold for nearly a decade. Let me say that one more time. He gave away so much gold, so much of his wealth, and still has a bunch of reserve, that he devalued, disrupted the world economic system in every part that he visited for about a decade. Africa is the wealthiest continent on the planet. Our people are rich people in spirit and in resources and in our abilities, for sure. This is an image, an artist rendering of Mansa Musa, the most wealthiest person to ever live. What we call Black history truly is world history. He's outstanding. But let me tell you really, really fast about his brother. His brother's name was Abu Bakari. And the way that Mansa Musa became king of Mali, West Africa, is that his brother hopped on some ships that he had created and sailed to the Americas between the years 1310 and 1311. He actually sailed again in 1311, but sailed 2,000 ships to the Americas. Again, an example of an African or Black explorer, a Black seafaring person. What we call Black history truly is world history. You cannot, in my opinion, have a Black history presentation that is of any value, of any goodness, without mentioning this man, the right, excellent, Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Marcus Garvey had an organization, not just any organization, the largest Black organization ever in the history of this planet. Over 7 million members, over 1 million paid members. He had one simple theme. If you're Black, then you're African. If you're Black, it's important that we unify, we contribute our time, our talents, and our resources towards the upliftment of our people. And for that reason, Marcus Garvey will always, always, always be an honorable person, worthy of distinction, worthy of credit, and worthy of being mentioned. He gave us his flag, our red, black, and green. He said red, in essence, is the blood of our ancestors, those who lived, struggled, and died to allow us to be who we are and what we are today. The black is symbolic of the people that live here and now, who must understand it's not only our right, but our responsibility to make sure that those who went before us did not die in vain. The green, he said, is to remind us of the mother of all of us, that being Mother Africa, and also to remind us of the rewards of our efforts. Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey put together something called Black Cross nurses. That's right. Did you know we had full legions, full numbers of Black nurses and doctors? Marcus Garvey led that movement. He was friends with this woman right here, Sarah Breedlove, AKA Madam C.J. Walker, the first well-known woman millionaire, self-made woman millionaire. She had a line of beauty products. She knew that Black women worked from can't see in the morning to can't see at night, and oftentimes developed scalp irritations and scalp diseases. She put together a number of salves and ointments in order to treat Black women's hair naturally. And she became, again, the first well-known self-made woman millionaire. She was friends with Marcus Garvey, and oftentimes when Marcus Garvey would meet with international and worldwide leaders, she would lend her home that was built in New York by the first African-American architect in the state of New York. Beautiful home. She would lend her home to Marcus Garvey to have meetings and show that there was support for his movement. She made thousands of Walker agents very, very wealthy as well. Again, using time, talent, and resources for the betterment of our people. Black history is world history. A few more photos of some of those lovely ladies, some of those lovely sisters who had immense amounts of wealth through the collaboration of Black women with Madam C.J. Walker. Lewis Latimer, a name that is a personification, a name that showcases greatly that Black history is world history. We know the name of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison created a light bulb, right? Yes, that is true. However, Thomas Edison's light bulb wouldn't last more than about 12 and a half hours. Imagine having to change your light bulb about every day. That would be woefully inefficient and expensive. So when Thomas Edison couldn't figure out exactly the calculations in order to make a light bulb work, he put together a small team of inventors. Lewis Latimer was the youngest and only African-American to be a part of this team. And it was his contributions that give us the lights that power our homes to this day. He has the patent for the carbon light filament inside of the light bulb. If you don't believe me, here you are. Here his name is featured on the USPTO, US Patent and Trade Office patent for the carbon light filament there, September 13th, 1881. He had a number of other inventions as well, the parts that stabilize the light bulb as well. And also he has an invention, a patent for the toilets on trains. What they did on trains prior to his invention, I don't want to know, but I'm thankful that Black history is world history. I'm thankful that our contributions not only help Black people, but help the world. I'm thankful for our brother, Lewis Latimer. Charles Brooks, we interact with his excellence virtually every day as well. He discovered that neighborhoods all across this country were filled with trash. And so he created the street sweeper. That's right, the big truck with the big brush that sweeps the trash. Perhaps your parents get a ticket for parking on the wrong side of the street. He didn't come up with the ticketing part, but he came up with the device that makes our homes, our neighborhoods more beautiful. He also came up with the hole punch as well. What we call Black history truly is world history. What we call Black excellence truly is an essence and energy, efforts that make the world a better place. This man, Richard Spikes, I've never been able to find a photo of him, but this is just a small list of his inventions that have impacted the entire globe. The automobile directional signal, you know, the little tick, 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 the light that shows what direction you're going, the automatic gear shift. So if you aren't coordinated like me enough to drive a manual shift car, the stick shift was created by this brother. Horizontal swinging barber chair, what we call Black history, things that we interact with on a daily basis were contributed by people who look like me. Each and every one of us has inside of us the energy, the essence, a gift to make the world a better place. It's not only our right, but our responsibility that we discover that gift, unpack that gift, perfect that gift, and present it to the world. What we call Black history truly is world history. This man right here gave us the stoplight, Garrett A. Morgan, the red, yellow, green stoplight, as well as the gas mask. What we call Black history truly, truly, truly is the missing pages of world history. I cannot say that enough times. We all have in us the ability to create Black history as well. I want to give you a few of my closing thoughts. Remember that you come from pyramid builders. Discover, unwrap, present your gift to the world. And most importantly, let me go back to that last slide really fast here. These are some things that I've mentioned throughout the presentation, but I just wanted us to have a moment to reflect on them. Remember that you come from pyramid builders. Discover, unwrap, and present your gifts to the world. And this last one, know that every cell in your body eavesdrops on your mind. Let me say that one more time slowly. Know that every cell in your body eavesdrops on your mind. This important, this jewel, Jamaal jewel, certainly is important. That negative self-talk, that comes from our peers, the imposter syndrome that we sometimes feel that we don't belong in certain places, we don't belong in certain grades, and certain people, they are the people that are worthy of these good grades and this sort of lifestyle. No, We come from kings and queens. We come from Mother Africa. From the dawn of time, people who look like you, people who look like me, have made the world a better place. Our contributions are what makes this world go round. When we have negative thoughts about ourselves, when we have negative thoughts about what we are able to accomplish, we are disrespecting our ancestors. We are disrespecting those who had a tougher road to hoe. We are disrespecting those who contributed their greatness by saying that we don't have in us the same level or even greater greatness inside of us. So it's important that we eliminate immediately those thoughts of negativity, those thoughts of lack, those thoughts of we aren't capable enough. Know that every cell in your body eavesdrops on your mind. So have positive thoughts, have positive affirmations. I am love, I am power, I am joy, I am health, I am wealth, I am stress-free, I am greatness. I will impact this planet for the good. These are positive words, these powerful punchlines that we must provide to ourselves each and every day, each and every dark moment of our lives. I am love, I am peace, I am power, I am joy, I am health, I am wealth, I am stress-free. I have inside of me everything that I need in order to receive everything that I want. We must use our time, our talents, and our resources once again for the betterment of our people. Understand that each and every day you wake up, you're not only representing yourself, you're representing Big Mama and them, those who lived, struggled, and died in your family for you to be who you are and what you are today. We represent those in the human rights struggle, the civil rights struggle, Reconstruction, Black Code era, those who laid down their life for us, those who were enslaved on those ships, on those plantations. We represent them, our ancestors who were never enslaved on the continent. Again, those pyramid builders, those who made great and mighty civilizations. We represent them as well. We must honor them as well. We must represent our children and our future children. We must represent 7 generations ahead of us. Know that when we use our time, our talents, and our resources for good, all of these souls, all these individuals walk with us, and we must honor them again as we move forward throughout our daily lives. Wrapping up here, again, my contribution, my gift to humanity, to my people is this calendar here. You can find it at black365.com. It's the a calendar that's in its 13th year. It highlights an event in Black history every single day. When I say every day, I truly mean every single day. You can find an individual, an instance, an idea, an invention, something that someone who looks like you and me contributed positively to the globe each and every day. I sell thousands of these calendars across the globe. Organizations can use them as fundraisers. Organizations buy them in bulk to increase their diversity, equity, and inclusion plans. And it's truly something that I'm happy and I'm honored to be able to bring to the community. Here are some more things that I produce. There's a book, A to Z Character Traits in Me, Words of Wisdom for Living Your Best Life. It's a book that teaches about character traits and showcases people who look like you and me, who have demonstrated excellence and demonstrated the character traits that are ascribed to them. And there's 4 packs of cards: the Conscious Quotations edition, African Americans A to Z, the African American Athletes edition, and my favorite pack, a fan favorite pack, the 4th edition, the green one there, Black History Cards Edition 4, African Americans in Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. All of these can be bought individually. All of them can be bought as a bundle for some savings as well. Again, black365.com. I'm proud to announce in our 13th year in business, we have now launched apparel. The apparel, the leading piece of apparel that's been selling the greatest is the title of this presentation: Black History is World History. Check it out at black365.com. Also, I'm happy to announce that I'm part of a team that creates the world's first and only 365 days of Hispanic heritage calendar. You can find it at latinocalendar.com, latinocalendar.com, also at Black365 as well. But again, this is the world's first and only 365 days of Hispanic heritage calendar as well. Once again, I'm happy, I'm humbled, I'm honored to be before you. Here, again, is my contact information, Black365.Jamal at Black365.US, Black365.com, latinocalendar.com, and there are my social media handles. Again, I truly am grateful. I truly am thankful for the organizers of this beautiful event, for thinking of me and allowing me to be here with you today. I hope I said something that will inspire you, uplift you, and encourage you. Again, thank you for your time. Jamaal Brown. Peace.